My roommate is moving out. He actually got a place and he's actually moving stuff out. Last night, he did not spend the night there. That was his first night away. And tonight he came back to pick up some more stuff. He's just coming back every day to pick up some stuff and clean up some of his messes and work out switching bills into my name. And it's a lot harder than I anticipated. I have wanted him to move out for such a long time because I know that his being here really hurts me. I know that it's really unhealthy for me. And I know that in order for me to heal, I need to be away from him. But, I guess the permanence of his leaving my life forever makes me sad. Despite how awful he's been in the last couple of years. We were together for 4 years. Sorry I'm not looking. I just feel like I'm going to cry if I look at the camera, so I'm just not looking. We were together for 4 years, and I remember when we moved in together, we were so excited. And it's just so hard to believe that this is my life. And that type of thing just turned into what it is now. Whenever I told my friends that I had caught him cheating on me, it was the day before April Fool's Day. And they had known a lot about George. And they all thought I was pranking them. But it was an April Fool's joke. Because they were like, no, you're joking because he would never do that to you. And I said, I wish that my life were an April Fool's joke right now because then it would not be true. I didn't tell people in my life for a very long time. My family was still asking, how's George? Like, months, 9 months after we broke up. I didn't mean to say his name, but that's his name. It's George. Or Jorge. And I didn't, publicly talk about it on my Facebook or anything like that. So a lot of my friends don't know that we broke up. They don't know what's going on. I didn't want to publicly say anything because I didn't want to be overwhelmed by questions and people saying, wow, I never thought he would do that. He seemed like such a good guy. He seemed like he loved you so much, because I was kind of in the same boat. I thought that too. And then, when we first broke up, I wasn't sure if we were going to try to work things out. And I didn't want to tell people what had happened. Because I knew then that if we had worked things out, they probably wouldn't be as forgiving, and they probably wouldn't support the decision. And at one point, I did almost take him back. It was a few months after we broke up. And it seemed like he was, trying to make it better. Like, it seemed like he was trying. But there were also things that he wasn't doing that I asked him to do. And so for about a week, well, I would say for about a month or so, I was letting him take me on dates every week. But I wouldn't, like, kiss him or anything. I did get to the point where I would hold his hand as we took a walk around the lake. Or, actually, this wasn't a lake, it was a river by the Minnehaha Falls. And, I thought he was trying. So he started spending a little bit more time at home with me. And it seemed like he was trying. And of course, I loved him. But, I have to get rid of this Facebook notification, sorry. But then I kept feeling like there was still something that he was not telling me. I kind of felt like I couldn't trust him. There was about a week in there where I was seriously considering taking him back. And for that week, we were acting like a couple. We were, affectionate with each other. Hugging and kissing and, being physically affectionate. And I thought I was going to take him back, but then he still was being weird about his phone. And he still wasn't spending enough time at home with me. So I just kept feeling like I still couldn't trust him, like he was hiding something. And I thought maybe I was just being someone who couldn't let go of the past, which I know that's a problem I have. But I thought maybe I was just paranoid, and I told him, I'm sorry. I can't get over what you did, and I don't think I can trust you. And he kept begging me to take him back. I would make him sleep on the couch, and I'd wake up, and he would be in bed with me, cuddling with me, telling me that he loves me, and he would wake me up at night just to tell me that he's sorry, and he fucked up, and he loves me, and he doesn't understand why I won't take him back because he's done with that girl and all of that stuff. And at one point, whenever I caught him, and when he was trying to get me to take him back, he actually did text her, or someone he said was her, and said, what happened between us was a mistake. It can never happen again. I know you know that it's true. I don't know who he sent that to, but according to her, it wasn't her, that she never received it. So, I actually met her once, in the midst of his trying to get me to take him back. And right after I had decided I couldn't trust him, like maybe a month later, maybe like 3 weeks later, but I think it was like a month, but he was still, like, every morning waking me up and cuddling with me and trying to get me to take him back, telling me he loved me, and this morning was no different. This morning, in my story, not today, this morning, but in my story, this morning, he, was cuddling with me and telling me that he loved me and that he didn't understand why I wouldn't take him back because he was over with that girl. Things were done. He hasn't been with her since I found out. Nothing's happened, and and he doesn't understand, and he wants his family back. All of this stuff. It just seemed really sincere the way that he said it. And his family came here, and we celebrated his birthday, and then they left, and it was a Saturday, and they left, and then someone knocked on my door, and I opened the door, and it was this girl, and she asked for him, and I said, he's not home, who are you? And she said, I'm his girlfriend. And I said, his girlfriend? Oh, you must not know about me then. And then she said, who are you? And I said, I was his girlfriend for 4 years until I caught him cheating on me with a married girl from his work about 3 months ago. And then I said, wait, was that you? And she nodded. And then I told her, he's been telling me that you guys just had like a fling for a couple of weeks, and that it was nothing, and that it was over, and he's been trying to get me to take him back. And she said that they had been together for 6 months. I had only caught him 3 months before that. That means he had a relationship with her for 3 months before I found out. And he never told her, because I said, well, showed me that he texted you, and he didn't send that to her. I don't know who he sent it to, but she said that she never got anything like that. She didn't know about me. Like, he had told her that he had a roommate that was a couple. And I said, we have pictures of us on our living room wall and it says family. And you say that you've been in my living room. How did you not see that? And she said that she didn't really pay attention, and that, he had said that he lived with a couple, so she didn't really think anything of it and didn't look closer. And so she was coming over because her phone was broken, and she was supposed to have a date with him. And she just wanted to let him know that she was still making it for the date. They were going to go to a movie. And so she called him from my phone. And of course, he thought it was me. But then he heard her voice coming from my phone. And so he rushed home and found both of us. And I couldn't believe what happened next. He threw me under the bus to save things with this girl. He said, oh no, she and I broke up a long time ago. And then he said to me, Carrie, you know that you and I broke up over a year ago because you fucked up? And I was like, what? We broke up 3 months ago when I caught you cheating on me. In what way did I fuck up? And then he couldn't answer that. And then he was telling her, no, she's lying. She doesn't mean anything to me. She's nothing. I mean, a lot of this was in Spanish, but that's what they were saying. And then she was saying, this is karma because I'm married. And then his mom and sister came over, and then they didn't say anything like to they didn't volunteer information, but as he was talking to her, they and he would say, no, there's nothing between us, we're not trying to work things out, and I love you, and there's only you, and I wouldn't cheat on you. And they just kept saying, tell her the truth, George, like, why don't you tell her the truth? So it wasn't like they were volunteering information, but their responses made it pretty clear that they didn't feel like he was telling the truth. And then they took his mom and sister, they took me back to their house just to get me away from that situation. And he was still talking to her 5 hours later outside, trying to convince her whenever I finally came home. Because that was midnight whenever I left, and at 5 in the morning they were still out there. And somehow he was trying to convince her that I was lying, his sister was lying, and his mom was lying. And somehow either she didn't care or she believed him. I don't know, but she took him back, and I stopped, even entertaining the idea of taking him back, of course. I mean, that crushed me. I still can't believe he did that. I have to go turn off my computer notifications. They keep making noise. Hold on. Anyway, she took him back, and he continued cheating on her for the rest of their relationship. He continued trying to get me to take him back. He started seeing his new girlfriend while he was still with her. And as far as I know, this new girl does not know that he had a girlfriend the whole time. He started seeing this new girl about a year ago, and he didn't break up with, well, actually, he didn't even break up with her. That other girl broke up with him when she caught pictures of him with the new girl on his phone. And that was March of this year, so just a few months ago. So, for most of their relationship with the new girl, he had another girlfriend. Anyway, that's the story of that. The way that I caught him cheating on me was that we were at a movie theater, and we were supposed to be on a date. And then I noticed he was texting this girl from his work the whole time. And I didn't think anything of him texting the girl because, I didn't feel insecure about that. And I didn't care if he had female friends or if he talked to girls. But his reaction was weird. Whenever I leaned over and I said, "We're on a date. Put your phone away and watch the movie. Why are you texting Anna the whole time?" And he got really weird. He went to the bathroom and it deleted all of his messages, and then he wouldn't let me look at his phone. And in our entire relationship, he always just let me play with his phone. Like if I wanted to play games on his phone or look at his phone, he always let me. He would just hand it over. And then he put a password on it. He started carrying it around with him everywhere. I saw him enter the password, so I knew what it was. And then I checked his messages whenever he was asleep and found some messages from them. They were in English and Spanish, but basically they were talking about having unprotected sex, and she was asking, "Are you afraid I'm going to get pregnant?" And he said, "No, baby, I love you. If you got pregnant, I would be happy. I'm not scared because I want to build a life with you and build memories with you." And then I read that and I was just like, I thought that's what we were doing. And then whenever I woke him up and I told him what I found, he immediately deleted it, but I had taken a picture of it because I figured he would delete it. And then he spent 40 minutes trying to tell me that it was just a joke, that they were just joking around. And it was 40 minutes of me saying, "I'm not stupid, George. I'm not stupid, George. I'm not an idiot." That is not the way that people talk when they're joking around. They don't joke around about ejaculating inside of someone and having a baby and building a life with them and being in love with them. That is not a joke. So then he finally, after almost an hour, admitted to it. He didn't really have any good reasons. And then, the rest of it, I already told you. My friends didn't believe it. I didn't believe it. I did, but I couldn't believe it had happened. And then, he kept trying to get me taken back. And then that girl showed up at my house. And then he continued to bring her here all the time. And then for a while, he was bringing them both here. And now he just brings the newer one. And then, I don't know, sometimes there might be a different girl. But it's just, that whole scenario, I never saw coming. I never thought that our life would ever end up like that, because I always thought that he was this loyal guy, that he would never lie to me, he would never hurt me in such a way. And as he's packing, that, those ideas are in my mind too, but that's only the last year and a half. The first 4 years, we're not like that. And I'm watching him pack up stuff, and it reminds me of how excited we were to move in together. How in love we were. Tonight I found one of the DVDs from one of our first dates. He would rent movies and bring them over, and we would watch them. It was called Romeo and Juliet. Romeo, the little person. And just thinking about how much my babies have always loved him, and how he loved them as well. And just even little things, he picked up this garment bag, and it was the garment bag that he bought because he was tired of cat hair ending up on his jacket. So he got it as a solution to cat hair being on his jacket when we first moved in together, and it reminded me of that. And I don't know. This whole thing is kind of bittersweet, because I do want him out. I understand I need him out. I understand it's keeping me from healing. I haven't been able to get over being hurt by him, because I'm still getting hurt by him every day. But I also have all of these really good memories. It's just so crazy that we went from one extreme to the other. Overnight. It's entirely possible that he had been cheating on me longer than I realized with other people. And I just didn't realize it because I trusted him. He won't admit to it, but there are lots of things he will admit to. But it would definitely make sense. And then, I'm not in love with him, but he's been a really important person to me for a really long time. He's basically the only person really close person I've had the whole time I've been in Minnesota. I've been with him the whole time. I've never not lived with him. I mean, I met him just a few months after I moved here, so I had just a few months without him. And then after that, I've been with him ever since. The memory, looking around and seeing the living room kind of empty, it reminded me of how we moved here. I had to work, so I couldn't come and look at the places. So he found a place, and he said that he found one that he thought would be really good for my babies because there's no carpet, and they would have their own room. And he felt like it was a good size and a good price. And I had never seen it before he rented it. He signed all the paperwork for us. And we moved in together. But the way that we moved in was he gave me a GPS, which I didn't have it up until this point. This is how he gave it to me. He gave me a GPS and put the address in my GPS. And then put it in my car while I was at work. And then he said, when you get off of work, there's a GPS in your car. Just hit go and go to where it takes you. And I remember when we got here, it was March and it was so cold. We didn't have the electricity on yet or the heat or anything. It was so cold and we didn't have any furniture set up. So I was just laying in what is now my bedroom. But I wasn't sure which one was going to be my room or the baby's room. But I was just laying in here with the babies in the dark, just waiting for him to get off of work. And when he got off of work, it was always a really happy time. It was just like kind of a cute memory because maybe like the way that he led me here, it was kind of cute. And then him finding a place specifically for my babies and doing such a good job at picking a place that would be good for us. And then, whenever he would come home and we were always excited to see each other. I had 4 years of that. Just a whole lot of memories like that. So now his leaving is bittersweet. I'm glad that he's leaving. I want him to leave. I know that it will make me feel better. Because he causes so much anxiety in me. And so much depression. I mean, I'm having to watch him grow a family in our living room of the home that we got together for our future with someone else. And then I'm having to hear it hours a day. And that's just so hurtful. And then I don't know, I feel really scared to be without him, and I just feel like, God damn it would be so much easier if none of this had happened. Things are just the way that they were before. I know that thinking like that is pointless because I can't change it. But I'm just so afraid I'm not going to find a roommate that wants to live with me because of my cats. I'm afraid that what if I need help? What if I need something? He was always the one that helped me. Like, what if I lose my job and I'm the only one paying rent? I'm really scared. And it's sad. Because even though this is something I've been wanting for a long time, it does stir up a lot of memories. And I don't hate him. I'm not in love with him, but I do love him. I love everyone. I don't want to be his girlfriend. But at the same time, I wish none of this had happened. Because if none of it had happened, all of that stuff would have hurt me. And then we would still be together, and in that sense, I would want to be. But also, I've since learned he's apparently not a very good boyfriend. Because I've watched him cheat on everyone. I've had such a runny nose. Sorry. That's my trash can full of tissues. Sorry about that. So I mean, I definitely deserve better. I know this. And I am glad I'm not with him. But it's such a conflicted feeling. now it's like real, you know, like goodbye forever. My nose is so stuffy again from crying. Gosh, whenever I'm crying, I just talk forever. I just feel so heartbroken still. I still can't believe that he did any of that. It's just unreal. Still, a year and a half later, it's still unreal. I guess the sooner all of this is over with, the sooner I can move on and heal. But I feel like I shouldn't be this upset. It's part of why I feel like I can't talk to anyone about it, because I feel like no one's gonna understand, because everyone knows how much I wanted him to move out. And everyone knows how much it hurts me for him to live here. And everyone knows how much he hurt me in general. So I feel like people are going to understand the mixed feelings. I hugged him last night and I started bawling. I cried so hard. And then he started crying. He apologized for everything. And he said that he knew none of it was fair for me, and he apologized. But that there was something that he could do that would make it better, because nothing could ever make up for it. And he was sorry for that. And that he had wished that I would take him back, but he knew that it wasn't fair to me, that he had to have a relationship with someone that didn't work out. The married girl, she ended up not being a very good partner. He said it wasn't fair. He realized it wasn't fair, that it took that for him to realize what he lost with me. And that whenever, after his final attempt, whenever I turned him down, he gave up and then just tried to pursue something else. And he hugged me really hard and he cried a little bit. This video's really long. I always say that. I say that all the time. I feel like no one's gonna be able to hear me or understand me because I'm talking so softly and I'm so nasal right now. Well, I'll just end my video. If there's more to say on this story, I'll just do a different video. I mean, that's pretty much the gist of it. That's the story of how I found out that he was cheating on me. That's the story of what happened after, why the last year and a half has been hell for me. Story of why I haven't been able to get away from it, and I haven't been able to cure it, to, like, be healed from it yet. I haven't been able to get over it yet. Because I haven't been able to get away from any of it. It's been in my face every day ever since it happened. And that's the story of his moving out. And so if I need to say more, I'll just say it. in another video. I'm just really emotional. That's why I was so emotional last night. Last night was whenever the hugging and crying and his apologizing happened, and you know that happened tonight, but since he left I cried. It was just really hard. Everything was just getting so finalized. Okay. Have a good night, guys.